guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I am sorry for the long absence, but I am back today and I have one of my favorite videos of the year for you guys. We are talking all about eyeshadow palettes, specifically eyeshadow palette stills for Black Friday, for the holidays. I have been doing some research the last couple days and I have come up with a list of some places, websites, companies, brands I love to go to, especially during the holiday season because they offer some really awesome stills. You guys know how much I personally love eyeshadow palettes, but I also really love gifting eyeshadow palettes to the makeup lovers in my life because I feel like they're one of the funnest, most giftable options when it comes to makeup, because an eyeshadow palette can be used on just about anybody. And I have got some of my favorite brands, some of the greatest stills out there to share with you guys today. Hope you are excited about it. Before we get into the video, sending a special welcome to any new visitors to my channel. Very happy to have you here. I hope that you'll consider subscribing before you leave. Also make sure that notification bell is turned on if you would like to be notified every time I upload a new video. But we have a lot of palettes to get into, so let's get right to it. Alright, hope you guys are ready. I am all prepared. I have my notes here, I have my laptop, I even have my phone so we can do some multitasking, and I have my glasses. I am sorry, they reflect light. I know it's kind of annoying, but I have to use them or I'm not going to be able to read very well. Now, where to begin? Let's start with one of my very favorite eyeshadow brands, and that is Juvia's Place. So I actually want to first mention one deal that's going on the Juvia's Place website right now that is absolutely fantastic. This is a bundle of eyeshadow palette that's called the Alter Ego Bundle. It includes two of my top three very favorite eyeshadow palettes from Juvia's Place, the Nomad palette and the Magic Mini palette. It also includes their mint version of one of their newer quads and a liquid liner, all for $24. You get all of that for just $24. It doesn't say when this deal will end, but it does say limited quantities. Right now, it looks like they're still available. That is incredible, you guys. That's an $80 value for just $24. You guys know how much I love the Nomad palette. I also love the Magic Mini palette. It's one of my favorites. I think this mint palette looks really adorable. I've never tried one of their liquid eyeliners, but man, you guys, that is such an incredible deal. I don't know quite how long this one lasts. It says it's going through their Black Friday sale, but it says limited quantities, limited time offer, so it's available now. So if you're interested in it, if you haven't tried out Juvia's Place before, this would be a fantastic place to start. I would highly recommend this one. Now, the Juvia's Place website does also have some other deals going on. I know that their Nubian palettes are going to be on sale tomorrow. They're doing like a 12 days of Black Friday deal, so I think they have a different deal every day, so keep an eye on their website. But if you just in general are interested in the Juvia's Place palettes, they are actually on sale at Ulta during the Black Friday time period, which who knows when that is nowadays. Like, Black Friday is not Black Friday like it used to be. It's like a week's worth of deals, so just be aware. It's defined a little differently for all of these different companies, different websites, but Ulta is having all of their Juvia's Place palettes and lip products on sale for 40% off right now. That is a fantastic deal, and they do offer some of my very favorite palettes from Juvia's Place. I personally am considering getting the Warrior eyeshadow palette. I can't believe I don't have that palette yet because I think it's one of their most popular staple eyeshadow palettes. I might pick that one up. I'm considering getting another Nomad palette as a backup because I'm so worried about running out of that center shade in the Nomad palette. Mine's getting pretty darn close to hitting pan, and that is one of my very favorite lid shades in my entire collection. But like I say that every time I talk about this palette. There's also some other 6-pan palettes that they offer that I think look really pretty that I'm interested in trying. I don't know for sure yet. I haven't quite decided where I'm planning to order from or spend some money this holiday season. I can't do it all, and I certainly don't need a lot of eyeshadow palettes, but I highly recommend Juvia's Place. You guys know how much I love them. Their quality is great. Their shimmer formula and matte formulas are amazing, and I love their packaging on all of their palettes. I think they're really fun. Today I'm actually wearing the Nubian 3 eyeshadow palette, the Coral palette. This one is on sale right now for $12 at Ulta. Now, if the person that you're gifting for is into color, there are so many palettes from Juvia's Place that you could pick. They have a lot of really fun color stories, but if you know the person that you're gifting for likes their neutrals or you feel more comfortable gifting a more neutral palette, some of the ones I would recommend are the Warrior palette. That one is on sale for $12 at Ulta. The Nubian eyeshadow palette, that one's also on sale for $12. I haven't tried that one out myself, but it is full of lots and lots of neutrals. I also recommend the Nubian 2 eyeshadow palette. That's one of my very favorites. It does have a couple of colorful shades in there, but most of the shades are very neutral, very wearable. That one is on sale for $12 as well. They also have some smaller eyeshadow palettes if you're looking to spend under $10. There's some really good 6-pan palettes that they offer on Ulta's website. I love the Taupes palette for cooler tones. I absolutely love the Mauves eyeshadow palette. If you like berry tones, that's one of the prettiest smaller berry tone palettes that I own. And of course, you guys know my love for the Nomad palette. That's one that I would recommend gifting as well. I think you couldn't go wrong with any Juvia's Place palette. They're really high quality, really affordable, very fun color stories, and they're very cute, so they're very good to wrap up and gift for the holidays. Okay, let's move on to Colourpop. Colourpop is another brand. I really love the Colourpop formula. They have so many eyeshadow palettes, as you guys very well know. I mean, they have new releases coming out literally almost every day. If I go like a month or two without looking on the Colourpop website, which was the case for me yesterday, I hadn't been on the Colourpop website for a while, so I was browsing through their website yesterday, and oh my goodness, there are so many palettes that have been released that I didn't even know about. But a couple things I especially love about Colourpop, they have sales often, and this is a great time of year for sales. Right now, they're currently doing a 30% off site-wide, but I love gifting the Colourpop palettes for similar reasons. They have really good packaging, their formulas are fantastic, and they have such a variety of different colors and color stories. So as I mentioned, right now everything on their site is 30% off, but they also have some other deals that will be coming up for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday time period. On Friday the 26th, they're doing a mystery box. I don't know what that is. I just see the announcement here in my email. It also says that on Sunday the 28th and Monday the 29th of November, they're doing 40% off their core palettes. I don't know what that means. I don't know which palettes they consider their core palettes, but 40% off from Colourpop is a great deal because their palettes already full price are pretty affordable. So that's another place I would highly recommend going. A couple ones I really love. You can't go wrong with the Going Coconuts palette. I love the Menage a Moi palette. I love the Making Mobs palette and the That's Taupe palette, although I think the That's Taupe palette is already out of stock. Those ones are on sale from $9 to about $12. The Off Melrose palette is a really fun one. That one's a really good one because it's somewhat colorful, but nothing in there is very bold. So it would be a good one for someone that maybe wants to have a little bit of variety but still likes their neutral tones. I would also recommend their quads. These are on sale for about $6, so that's a great price if you're looking for a small gift to give maybe some friends in your life or sisters. A couple of their quads that I recommend. This one right here is one of my favorites. This is the Like a Virgo palette. This one right here is the Taurus palette. This one has some really pretty green tones. I love the Tender Loving Cancer palette. These are all part of their astrology collection. One of their staple quads that I love the very most is the Sorbet palette. This has the prettiest berry tones in it. Now, these palettes do have some pretty sparkly shades in them. The shimmers in these are quite glittery, but they're really, really pretty on the eyes. I like the formulas. Really nice sleek packaging, nice and small, really good small gifts if you're looking for like a smaller, more affordable gift. One that I'm really curious about, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be placing a Colourpop order. I'm tempted to, but there's so many of these different places I'd like to order from. I've got to prioritize first, but this Head Capricorn in Charge one kind of reminds me of a smaller version of the That's Taupe palette or the Going Coconuts palette. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any Colourpop palette. Their packaging is great, their prices are really affordable, their sales are fantastic, and they do have free international shipping on orders over $60. Let's move on to another one of my favorite affordable eyeshadow palette brands, and that is BH Cosmetics. Now, I don't think the BH Cosmetics packaging is quite as cute and giftable as the Juvia's Place or the Colourpop, but their formulas are absolutely exceptional, and they do have some really good prices and really good sales. Right now for Black Friday, they are doing up to 75% off pretty much everything on their website. Some things will be discounted more than others, but I love BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. They have such great formulas and some really good options that I think would be fun to gift for the holidays. I'm a big fan of their travel and their food themed palettes. I'm talking about the Avocado Toast palette, the Blueberry Muffin palette. Those are both on sale for $6 or $7 a piece. Also, the Hangin' in Hawaii palette is on sale. That's another favorite of mine. I actually just got back from Hawaii a couple of days ago, and I took the Hangin' in Hawaii palette with me because why would you not? How many chances do you have to take a Hawaii palette to Hawaii? Not many for me at least, and I fell in love with this palette out there. It is very neutral, but it is beautiful. If you know the person you're gifting for is really into their neutrals or doesn't like to try out color very much, this would be the one I would most recommend. The packaging is a little bit different now, but assuming that the formulas are still the same, the colors are still the same or similar, that is a great one to gift. And that one right now is also on sale for under $7, which is a great price for an eyeshadow palette of this size. I myself am personally very interested in their holiday release. So last year I fell in love with their large holiday eyeshadow palette. It is one of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. I think it has one of the best color stories I have ever seen. And despite the fact that it is quite large and it looks very Christmassy, I think the eyeshadows themselves are amazing. Last year's palette even made it into my video of if I could only keep 15 palettes in my entire collection. That palette made it in there, which I think is saying something because I have a very large eyeshadow palette collection, so it takes a lot for a palette to really stand out. This year's palette is called the Lit List. It is also a 30 color eyeshadow palette. This one looks really pretty. The color story is different from last year's. Have a lot of neutrals, a lot of green, reds, and kind of blues and silvers. This one's on sale right now for $21.75, so it is 25% off. That is a great price for a palette of this size. If the person that you're gifting for really likes Christmas themed gifts, or if you want to give something that feels a little bit more holiday or Christmas themed, this would be a really good option. They also have a smaller palette. If this one's a little bit too large or a little bit too pricey than what you're looking for, they do have a 16 color eyeshadow palette for $9. This one's called the So Spoiled palette. This one's color story is a little bit different. You get a lot of golds, you get some reds, some silvery blues as well. This one might be a better option if you're looking for something Christmas themed, but something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable. Just as a reference, let me show you guys last year's 30 eyeshadow palette. This is it right here. It is very, very large. So keep that in mind. This size of an eyeshadow palette might be a little bit overwhelming for some people. So BH Cosmetics is another giftable option for the holidays. They do have free US shipping on orders over $40. I'm not sure what their options are for international shipping. I will link their website down below. You guys can go check it out there. So those are some options for affordable palettes. Let's talk about some that are a little bit more fancy, a little bit or a lot more pricey, but ones that I think might be good options for some of you. First off, let's talk about Pat McGrath. Let's get the really pricey one out of the way. I have one Pat McGrath palette. I think it is fantastic. The formula is amazing. The packaging is exceptional. I don't think their packaging can be beat. Their prices, however, are very high. But they do have some Black Friday sales going on. They are doing 25% off orders of $50 or more, 30% off orders of $150 or more, and 35% off orders of $250 or more. So let me just share you guys a couple thoughts on Pat McGrath. They do have a holiday makeup release that I'm very interested in, even though it is a little bit pricey. It is their Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette. This is a limited edition release for the holidays. They did one last year as well, and I kind of regretted not picking that one up. It is $78, but it doesn't include 18 eyeshadows inside, which is actually a pretty good value for Pat McGrath. Now, I don't know for certain if her formulas in this one are the same as in her larger Mothership palettes. I heard mixed things about last year's release, that some of the shimmers weren't quite the same. But man, you guys, this palette looks so pretty. I imagine the packaging is not going to be quite as luxurious. It looks like it might be cardboard packaging. I don't know that for sure. At that price for that many eyeshadows, I would expect that it would not be as nice as her full-size palettes. But this is one that I'm very on the fence about. It's pretty pricey. I definitely am not in need of any eyeshadow palettes really ever, but because I have a makeup channel, I have to try out things on occasion just to maintain content for you guys, and this one is tempting me. I think more than anything what would push me into getting this one is to see for myself if this formula is similar to her full-size eyeshadow formula, especially the shimmers. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys be interested in me trying this one out for you guys and kind of reporting and let you guys know how it works, maybe doing a look with it? I do think the color story is beautiful. It looks very me, like mostly neutrals, lots of rosy tones and a couple of bold shades, lots of shimmers, along with some staple mattes. So I'm seriously considering this one. I think it would be a good gift option if you're looking for something a little fancier to gift for someone if you have a higher budget. But I wanted to say, when it comes to the Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes, her traditional eyeshadow palettes, whether you're looking at the larger Mothership palettes or the smaller quads, if you're looking to gift something that is really going to impress someone, like something that's going to be a standout, something you want to gift that's going to make someone feel very special for the holidays, Pat McGrath is probably what I would most recommend, because seriously, her packaging and formulas are so fancy. They are very high price, but they feel like they're very high price. So if you are gifting for someone that would really appreciate that, if you have a higher budget, I would recommend her eyeshadow palettes, because I don't think you're going to get that level of packaging from really anyone else. Sticking with the high end, let's talk a little bit about Natasha Denona. Now, I was looking through Natasha Denona's website. I didn't see any specific sales listed yet. It is possible she might be doing a sale sometime during the next week, so keep an eye on her website if you're interested in Natasha Denona eyeshadows, because a lot of brands will do some version of a Black Friday sale during the holiday season. You just have to keep an eye on the website, and that goes true with really any brand you might be interested in, maybe Urban Decay or Tarte. Many times brands will do their own sales, but even without a sale, I would actually recommend, and have recommended several times, the Natasha Denona mini palettes, because I think they're really good giftable options for the holidays. They're $25 a piece, which I think is a good entry-level giftable price point. They are a little bit on the small side, but they're Natasha Denona. They're really nice packaging, and their color stories are really fun. I most recommend the Retro palette. That is such a beautiful color story. Also, the Mini Nude is another one of my favorites, but there's lots of other options as well. If you have a higher budget and you're looking to spend a little bit more, she's come out with a the Glam Face Palette. This is a combination eyeshadow palette with some face products. It is $59. It includes 5 eyeshadows. I imagine these are probably going to be sized similar to the mini palettes. I don't know that for sure. But it also includes a highlighter and a blush. I love the Natasha Denona highlight formula. I have yet to try out the blush formula, so this is one that I have my eye on. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this one up, especially if I went for the Pat McGrath. I probably wouldn't go for both. That's just a little too much for me right now, but it does look very pretty. I definitely think this would be a good giftable option if you do have a higher budget. And as I mentioned before, I do recommend Natasha Denona's eyeshadow formula. I think it's really great. One more recommendation for you guys, and that is Sydney Grace. I love Sydney Grace eyeshadows. If you're new here, if you're not new here, you know this already. Now, I haven't seen an announcement about the holiday sale from Sydney Grace, but they do typically do one. They usually do a sale in July and one during the holidays, sometime around Black Friday. I'm not quite sure what that sale is or when it's going to be, but I would keep an eye on their website if it's a brand that interests you. And if it's not a brand that interests you, let me persuade you to be interested in this brand because they are so good. I am not affiliated with them in any way. I know I sound like I am every time I talk about them, but I truly just love their eyeshadows more than any eyeshadows in the world. They are my prized possession in my makeup collection. And the biggest reason I wanted to mention Sydney Grace is I think this would be a great gift for someone that maybe is the person that like has it all, the person that has all the high-end makeup. Maybe they're a major makeup collector and you don't know what else to gift them. I think going for something more indie brand that might not be very mainstream would be a really fun option. And I am telling you guys, they will not be disappointed in the quality of the Sydney Grace eyeshadows. Her matte formula and shimmer formula are some of the best I have ever tried. She has a great selection of colors. It might take you a bit of time to go through the website and pick out the different shadows. You could go with one of her pre-made palettes. She does have some pretty options there. I've never had an eyeshadow from her that was a dud, and I have a lot. I have almost every one of her singles. I have several of her eyeshadow palettes, and they are all amazing. Another thing that you could do, she does have empty palettes. She has one that holds 9. That's this size right here. You could fill it with 9 eyeshadows of your choosing. I would recommend any of the matte shades, and then the shimmers that I like the most are her pressed pigment formula. It's the most reflective. She also has a 12 pan that you can fill. Have a couple missing in this one, but you could fill this with any 12 shades of your choosing. I'm telling you guys, you could not go wrong with any of her shades. Just don't overthink it. I've never tried out an eyeshadow from her that I didn't absolutely love. So full price, her shadows are $5 for the mattes, $6 for the pressed pigment formula, and the empty palettes for the small 9-pan palette is $10 and the 12-pan palette is $12. So I had to mention Sydney Grace. They are my very favorite eyeshadow brand. I think they're a great option to gift to someone that is not familiar with who they are because I really think they would be highly impressed, especially with their metallic shimmers. There's nothing in the world like a Sydney Grace metallic shimmer. And that is going to do it for this video today. Those are my top recommendations for eyeshadow palette stills for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the holiday season. These are the ones I most would recommend either trying out for yourself or gifting to the makeup lover in your life. Hopefully there's an option here for everyone, no matter what your budget is, no matter who you're gifting for, what your color preferences are. I don't think you could go wrong with any one of these. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if there are some sales out there that I missed out on. Let us know down in the comments below. If I see some good recommendations that I forgot about, I'll try and pin those up in the comments section so you guys can see them down below. But that is it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Let me remind you one more time, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to my channel before you leave. But that's all for now. Happy shopping, you guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Do my earrings look like candy? My daughter asked me if my earrings were made out of candy this morning. It's like, is that a bad thing? Don't eat them, please.